Scooty button done.
If you give the pictures a moment to load, gentlemen, you're probably wondering why I called you here today. 20 years! That's how long it's been. 20 years since hijacked airliners flew into some of the most important buildings in the world. It's hard to believe so much time has passed. But the time has passed. For me, what's even harder to believe is that there are people growing up today with so little knowledge of an event that cracked the foundations of the United States and changed the world as we know it. The attacks on September 11th took away nearly 3,000 people, men, women, and children. The event also caused over 10,000 incidents of cancer for those nearby. Some of those people are still dying to this day to those cancers. The debris took months to be cleared. For those on the front lines, it felt like for every piece of rubble they lifted, an injured soul, or even worse, somebody dead, was behind. Following the attacks, almost immediately the nation came together and we were launched into several long drawn-out conflicts with Afghanistan and Iraq. One of those conflicts ended last year, and the other ended just a few weeks ago. While the groups that perpetrated the attacks, from my knowledge, from my knowledge, still live on, at least in spirit, the men and women on the front lines for this country have ensured that something like this will never happen again, at least in America. But America is only one country, and it's important to remember acts of mass terror like the September 11th attacks. They keep happening. In 1990, the massacre of Trujillo claimed 400 lives in Colombia. In 2011, the Yazidi community bombings claimed 796 lives in Iraq. The 2008 Christmas massacres claimed over 860 lives in the Congo. The Camp Speicher massacre of 2014 claimed 1,700 more lives in Iraq, and just a few months later, another 1,500 lives. The 2018 suicide bombings, shootings, and hostage situations around the world took 400 lives. And just a few weeks ago, in Kabul, there was an act of terror killing, I believe, roughly 200 people, perpetrated by the Taliban. Undoubtedly, atrocities like these continue happening, and it's only through coming together and recognizing that we can make a difference and help save lives. You don't have to be somebody on the front lines to make an impact or help your fellow man. That's pretty much all I have to say on this. If anyone else would like to share a few words, you may come up to the stage. Or rather, don't come up to the stage, you can just stand in front of the line.
Hello. As far as some of you may know, or to those who don't,
In my life, I am a firefighter. And when the Trade Center was attacked, my fire department responded with 9 of their volunteer firefighters, and they saw the destruction and horror of what happened on 9/11. And they, like many others, ran to the danger when everyone else was running out. This terror caused the life of 343 firefighters. And those lives, along with many others, must never be forgotten. Because nowadays, there are those who forget this tragedy. But we, as Americans, and those around the world, must never forget this horrific event that cost these many lives, taken away within a single second. We must remember that we must, in our darkest hours, at the end of the tunnel there is a light. And at the end of that, the light will shine on to hope that we can come together and work together as one. I implore all of you to take this day and remember it. Just make sure that what happened today must never be forgotten. And when the darkness tries to take you, know that when the light is shown, everyone will come together and unite. That is all I have to say.
Thank you, Razor.
People, for as edgy as we may be, it is important to remember incidents like this, and the Holocaust, and other acts of atrocity. A statistic that I read about today or yesterday, I don't know. Only 1/4 of people don't know what happened on this. I was 2 when this shit happened, and I remember it deeply. Soon, that 1/4 is going to become 3/4, then 7/8. Those of us alive here today are the vanguards of this knowledge, like the Holocaust survivors are the vanguards of the knowledge of what happened to them, to spread awareness about those events. We need to be the vanguards that remind others what has happened. We are alive to see the secondhand effects. My father's friend who directly responded to this, he has health issues stemming from this. I've seen them, and they're not fucking pretty. We need to educate people on what happened, but we also need to educate about tolerance. That yes, the people behind this came from a certain region, but not everybody from that region or of that ethnicity and all of that. Not all of them are like this. We need to spread awareness, and I'm forgetting the word, but basically we need to... Wow, that threw off my entire tempo. We need to be tolerant. There we go, found the word. Tolerant. We need to be tolerant of people and understand that actions of a few radicals does not summarize that entire melting pot of people. We also need to be considerate of those who are currently suffering from that. While this was a 2-decade-old incident, as I alluded to before, there are still people suffering from medical conditions stemming from this. Multiple types of cancers. Forgetting the other illnesses, but cancer being the big one. So do not let this day die. Be able to talk about this with people and remember it and pass on the knowledge of what happened, but also educate about tolerance. What to say?
Thank you, Greed. I'll be taking one more person to come up here.
I'll say something really. I'm just gonna make it quick and short. Alright. I lost family that was on the plane. Although, yes, I was very young, you know. I mean, shit, I was even fucking born, but you know. My family had family on there, and I wish I could have met them today. Or even way after that. But it's because of those incidents that fucking I will never forget. You know, fucking, we all lost someone, or someone was affected by it. You know, and we don't want other people to feel that way. So we, as a nation, have to join together. And even our allies understand how we feel. And it's that bond that we all have together as a human race, that we can all understand each other's like emotions and pain, is what brings. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you, Mayfield. To leave off, remember, acts like these are born of blatant hate, blind hate, not understanding other people. So I encourage you, talk to your fellow man, get to know them. Behind every screen is a good person. Dismissed.
Dismiss.